Hey, what is going on, guys? I am just a random person on the internet, but I happen to be somebody who's applied to Hack the North, and while I did get accepted, I have no clue if it's because I did the capture the flag, because apparently hundreds of people were able to get 10 stars. Now I got 9 of the 10 stars. So because the application is over, results are out, I think it's appropriate that I can actually share the answers to at least what I have obtained in the capture the flag. This was my first capture the flag and I really enjoyed it, so I'm quite excited to share to you guys. The brilliance they really went into designing this, and I feel like if only the Hack the North applicants who did the capture the flag know about this, then it's a little bit sad, because I'm sure the creators of the capture the flag did an extraordinary job in just thinking about all the miniature details to getting this capture the flag through. Now, I don't have the actual 10th star, so if somebody's out there and has a 10th star, I would love to see what is actually required to get it. So please comment down below, how did you get the 10th star? But without further ado, let me show you guys how to get at least the 9 out of 10 stars. So I'm just going to start from a blank slate. I will show you guys it is August 6th, so that should prove Hack the North applications are not only closed, but the results are literally out. So I think it's appropriate I can at least release the answers. But yeah, I'm just going to start. So when you get to the Hack the North website, if you scroll, you'll notice these little shapes here. Like once again, and then I think one last time at the very bottom, like right here. And if you actually just read the colors, or keep in mind the colors, you can find the corresponding colors on these crystals. Now if you press them, you'll notice it makes a so mi do sound. And as a pianist myself, I have relative pitch and a bit of memory. I actually did memorize the sequence. It goes like, yeah, so do mi, mi do mi, mi so do. Yep. So if you actually just look at the 9 shapes and follow the color sequence, you'll get that. It's gonna bring you down to this little capture the flag section where you accept the challenge. Yeah, honestly, you just go through it like so. Over here, it's gonna want you to write the italics for this. I already wrote it. What you can do is just double click and drag it down if you really don't want to write it. I don't even think you need to put a space. Like you can literally have just like, let me just show you guys. You can double click, drag, like double click, drag, right? And then until you get like the full thing. So you're just going to click next when it allows you to. It's going to say you probably want to have an application, and it's going to bring you to the challenges. Now you can see that I have already 9 stars. So I'm just going to sign out and start from a blank slate. Sign up for that. I think it's going to ask me to verify my email. So I'm just going to do that real quick. All right, guys, we are back here. And as you can see, applications are closed. Capture the flag is now just for fun. So hopefully there's no issues. Hopefully I don't get freaking denied just because I've been releasing these answers. But yeah. Here we go. So there are 10 possible stars to get across these, and their narrative is absolutely brilliant. I'm just going to go through it very briefly, but we're just going to jump to the answer for the most part. So we're going to start with the broken calculator. Apparently what happens is it does not act like a conventional calculator, and their goal is to make whatever it wants you to make, in this case 20. Honestly, I literally just did that without thinking. I was going to go pull up my answer sheet that I have written down, but I just did that arbitrarily. But it looks like you just have to find the right sequence. You have 2 options: do it randomly or maybe find a pattern. I personally did it randomly, so I maybe got lucky. But yeah, 8 plus 3 is the first one. Then you're gonna do 2 more puzzles for this one. I remember this one is like 2 plus 4 plus 6. Yep, that's the answer. And the last one would be 2 plus 3 divided by 4. Which is so random. That's the first star. We're gonna do the hidden repo. The hidden repo is an interesting one. You have this narrative. It feels to me like an escape room. Like you're in an escape room, but this is a capture the flag on your computer. Yeah, there's this narrative. There's like a cave protocol system, because the whole hackathon is styled in terms of that theme. Oh, they lost connection and all of this and all of these things. If you guys would like, you guys can head over to Hack the North website, do the capture the flag while it's out. But yeah, the narrative is pretty cool. You guys can pause to read if you would like. And this is what they call GooseHub. It's almost like, if you're a GitHub user, this feels really nostalgic to GitHub, in the sense that like the world kind of an apocalyptic, I don't even know what I'm saying, like broke down or something, and then only GooseHub is okay. Well, let me shut up. So somehow either you follow the narrative or you randomly get to the branch. There are so many branches, by the way, named F93 feature F93718DE. If you find your way to this branch, you'll find that this has a special part where you can actually go to the commits and then download a zip file. So what I'm gonna do is just extract like so, and did I just break my... Yep. So we're gonna head over to this folder. There are a couple of things in here. So you're gonna find yourself into this note I mean, this is pretty easy to read. If it's not, you can just bring it into ChatGPT and it'll figure it out for you. But it's like, if you can read this, you have a strange mind too. You're the one to save us. To unlock the darkest secret, here's one more test. I follow without feet. I'm dark without night. I'm cast by the sun, yet I block out light. I mimic your moves, but I'm... What? F-L-A-T... Oh yeah, but I'm flat on the ground. In caves I grow long, but I make not a sound. What am I? When you get in, listen closely to the voice, it says more than you think. So there's two ways you could have gotten this. One is you could have just figured out that it's a shadow. And two is, if you really don't want to think, well, ChatGPT can probably figure that out for you. Anyhow, shadow is what we kind of got from that little puzzle. And then this is an encrypted bundle. So look, if we try to extract it, it's going to ask us for a password. But little do we know, we just got shadow. Let's enter shadow. And it allows us to extract this. That's super great. And then if we listen to the message, it's some freaking cursed shit. But as somebody who's been on the internet long enough, I can tell that this is a reversed audio. And in fact, most of my friends could tell as well. So if you couldn't tell, that's a little bit unfortunate because I think that's the next way to proceed. So right away, what we're just going to do is proceed to search reverse audio. And we're just going to go to any audio reverser online and drag in this message. Have the reverse audio tool reverse our audio. And let's download this back and let's go into the vault, encrypted bundle, and just replace the message. Now let's listen to the actual message.
Pandas, chases, pizza, panda.
Cursed at the end, but they basically said pandas chases pizza. So let's head over into the archive logs. And well, for some reason, Windows sorted it this way. But that's because I've already opened it. But typically you guys will see it's just like sorted all the way down. And the Pandas Chases Pizza would be somewhere down here. Anyhow, if you go into Pandas Eats... Yeah, this one. If you go into Pandas Chases Pizza as suggested by the audio, you'll find this. And if you're not sharp enough, you'll go like, oh, there's nothing here. Or if you might not even scroll and you just look at the other ones and it's literally just files containing their own file name. Almost, pretty much. However, if you do scroll down, you'll find, wow, what a nice ASCII. A panda, credit to Normand Velia. Okay, I can't say that name. But what we're looking for here is Dr. Nakamura, as well as the code. So we're just going to copy the code and head over to our reference of Dr. Nakamura, which happens to be, go into issues. Is it the third one? Yes. How do we know it's the third one? Because it says Nakamura right here. We're going to go into here and look, normally if you type a comment, that's like something you can enter. They'll give you a suggestion and they'll go like, oh, this message means nothing to me. I'm listening for something specific. You would have done this during the solving phase of the capture the flag. Or this is what you would have used to kind of give yourself a hint that you need to use comments or add a comment for something. Now that we've actually been directed back with our little code, we're going to comment exactly that code. And miraculously, there we go. We got a star, and they're also giving us a crystal map. So let's access the crystal map and click on here. And look at this. There's sounds when you click on the crystals, following the theme when we unlock the Hack the North, capture the flag. So what do we get? Si la do re so. In any capture the flag, if the flag is literally rapping, it's literally saying whatever's in here is the flag. That means this is the flag. And what do we do about the diamonds? It turns out we just correspond them to their actual letter B53AC8D15. So that's what we get. Sorry, I made a typo, I just realized. I don't know why I put a 5. I meant to put a G, because G is normally the 5th note in C major. Okay, once we've obtained the flag, we're gonna head into not the main branch, so just any branch, because I think it directed us to main when we clicked on the crystal map. And we're just going to go to the first issue here because look, it says update the thread. When you hear the crystals sing, we're just going to paste our flag in that we've written down. And as we submit it, you'll see, oh, we're so close to the truth. Now it wants us to download the final map. Put the final maze here and extract. Like so. We go into the final maze and take a look at this. We have a readme, navigate the cave system to uncover the final secrets. And then here's their cave system. What do you see here? It looks like a bunch of nonsense, but it does turn out all of these hashes are the walls. S is a start. All the way down here, E is the end. And the path going through it is lined with a bunch of these 2 characters. And they actually account for the Morse code. Alright guys, I have here a completed maze solver. So this is Python code. It's going to do a breadth first search going through the maze, and as it goes through, it's going to grab the Morse code and convert that Morse code into readable English. We're going to find out what the message was truly meant to be. So let's just go ahead and run this code real quick. As you guys can see, we have this as our message. This is what we were supposed to read, added with a pretentious attempt to try to make this more readable, but it's readable, plenty readable. So it says, congratulations, please enter the final correct sequence to GooseHub to uncover the secrets of project 31892. The previous flag appended with 0. All of this is the final key. See you at the truth. How do we know that this is actually proper? Because number one, these spaces were my hapless attempt to actually try to make this more readable. But number two, every word is actually written correctly. So ignoring the spaces, I think this is actually proper. So we're gonna go ahead and just take what we had previously and append whatever all this is to the end. So that is gonna be this appended with that, which is so random. How are you ever gonna get this, right? But we got it. We're just gonna submit that, and miraculously we complete the cave system of GooseHub. We return home, and there we go. That's the hidden repo done. Let's do the Talking Cartographer. Let's see what cartography means. The science or practice of drawing maps. So right away that tells you this got something to do with maps. Let's head into here. And one cool thing about this is I think they integrate this with AI, and they do give you hints along the way. Look, we're just gonna write some random stuff. Greetings, mortal. The path is not a straight line, but a winding journey. Explore the digital realm and seek the vehicle of transit. What we're going to use is, you see here, it says University and Albert. Number one, cartography is maps. Number two, they gave University and Albert. That's got to be 2 street names. Number three, Hackthon is in Waterloo. So we got to search in Waterloo. And number 4, they said vehicle of transit. So we're going to do all that. We're going to head over to Google Maps and look for University and Albert Waterloo, which, as you guys can see, I've already searched before. So that brings us right here, and just to confirm it's in Waterloo, if we start zooming out, University of Waterloo. So yeah, we are in the right place, and we're just going to drag our human into the street view, and it says we want to look for transit. We're just going to look at the other dates to see if there's a bus around. Is it 2024? Yep, it should be 2024. Let me not go inside the bus. Here we go. We found it. So you guys just got to go here to this intersection, go into June 2024, and 19B Northfield Station is our flag. So we're just going to scroll down and go 19B Northfield Station. Oops. Just like that. And boom, we found a way. So it looks like something happened. And the next piece is inspect the realms beneath the surface. Funny enough, you guys just got to bring yourselves to the inspect. And I think if we go to the console, it says a feather lands and whisper. And so let's copy this one. The easiest thing to do is to straight up go to ChatGPT and say, decode this message. And as you guys can see, there we go. We found a decoded message. All we did was just go to ChatGPT and decode it. It is day 64, so if you guys did figure that out, you could just decode it with your own code or find a resource online. Otherwise, where does this bring us? Let's say we go back to Google Maps and we search for these coordinates, and we were to just look at the street view. It actually brings us to this little view, and there are no extra dates. So funny thing is, this might be a bit impossible now. Yeah, it actually does match one of the descriptions. It says, upon the monument thick with paint lies the next key. But here's the only monument thick with paint, this red one, and you can't even get around to it. Like, you can't even see the full backside of it. And for a spoiler, the actual message is the backside. What you're normally supposed to do is, if you start interacting with the goose, let's say I just put in the coordinates, it's going to say search for the hidden message. So if we were to go to Google search and search for it, unfortunately it doesn't show up just a week before the deadline. You were supposed to find a Reddit page. I just found my way up to here, an 11th star, which apparently an organizer says, no, there's no 11th star. I almost just went like, what the heck, is there another star that I missed? Okay guys, you were supposed to be able to search these coordinates on Google, or at least this is how I got it at the time. I don't know how else other people will get it, but there would have been only one Google search result. I don't know why there are more now. And it would have led you to this particular post. If we just look at the new comments, everyone's talking about a goose, which is basically this goose from the challenge. But if you guys go to this Waterloo statue, now you could have seen Pride 2025, and look, if I attempt to say Pride 2025 here, it will say, I found a feather but seek the hidden words. It turns out the answer is Northbound Echo, and you would have had to find it on this Reddit page. which should have come from searching this. So I don't know how it's possible to solve this particular part of the challenge anymore. But yeah, you should have found northbound echo here. So let's just enter northbound echo. And we grab our star. There is one last thing. It gives us this little sequence. What we could try immediately is just write the numbers associated with all these words. So we get 5, 5, 4, 8, 9, 0, 0, 9, 2, 0, 5. Yeah, I don't know what the heck I just typed. Here we go. What you guys want to notice is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Apparently, the last key lies in calling this as a phone number. I'm just going to grab my phone right here. And we're going to call the number 548-900-9205. Put that on speaker for you guys.
Cradled in earth where the fire once slept.
Oh, it's real.
Born of the heat where the ancients wept. Blood of the mountain, hardened and clear. An interesting thought, but not quite the answer I seek. Think of something fiery, something precious, and perhaps something red. What am I?
A ruby. That was the failure of a call. I think the call got interrupted, but if you guys actually just listen to the full sentence it says, it talks about something in a mountain, like fiery red. And if we reflect on the theme of this hackathon being in like the gems, we had to capture the flag using these gemstones to begin with. The whole thing is like mining. What I'm thinking is gemstones, and what is red? Well, a ruby. If you actually just enter a ruby, it turns out, yep, that is the end of challenge. That's how you do the Talking Cartographer. So let's return to home. And we have now 5 stars. All right, let's close all of these tabs and move on to the lost archives. So if we go to the lost archives, it feels like it's a terminal. We go like help, nothing, hello, there's nothing, right? But we're just gonna do what it says, fetch manual 000, and we get some manual. And there's just a bunch of stuff, and yeah, what are you gonna do? Right? But it gives us fetch and page ID as the core command. So we're just gonna try using fetch with this. And boom, we get another one, but this is just a bunch of gibberish. What are we gonna do, right? Turns out if you go to QUIP.com, or you could have done this with ChatGPT, paste this in and solve. It proceeds to give you a confidence score, and I think this is a pretty accurate decryption. We're just gonna take that and plop it into a text file here. But look at this. We care about this at the end. CHHOB. Sorry, I meant fetch CF hob 141. And that brings us to the third document. And now we're going to take this again and decode it. And look at this. This decoder did an alright job. There could be better decoding. We're just going to put it down here. And if we just proceed to read through it, it says, notes in the jar. I can't believe we're hiding fortune cookie notes in the cookie jar. Every time I grab a treat, I find a note instead. It feels like they want us to read our own secrets. Next thing you'll know, they'll stash riddles in the sugar bowl. Just be careful not to eat the paper by accident. I already bit into a note this morning. They say the next lead lies outside the box. So what did we get from that? We got outside the box, cookie jar, and the note is somewhat associated with that. So apparently, and I don't know how anybody would figure this out, but apparently hundreds of people figured this one out. If you go into the inspect element and you go into the storage, you'll find that in the cookies, there's a name called archivist memo page. And if we just consider the theme of the library terminal, this is what we're looking for. If we take a look at the value int memo 424, well, that looks plenty like the format of all the rest of the PDFs we've seen so far. So we're gonna go ahead and fetch for that one and find it pops out not just a star, but the 4th PDF. And then that tells us about the serve command. Take a look at this. It says, I've heard it's tied to top secret 999. So we're gonna keep that in mind. I've never seen it succeed on any terminal. So that's one clue. It's not gonna work on a terminal. Not in a format I've seen in our usual commands. Maybe it's designed for a different interface. And so apparently you just have to go back into the inspect and go into the console. I think we can just go serve as a string, takes top secret 999. There we go. And we get promise pending, and I think it reveals our final document. Here we get the flag command. Since the addition of the flag command, we've observed a concerning shift in translator behavior. We're compiling affected documents for pattern analysis. One thing you guys want to notice is there are so many numbers. There's a number here, number here, number here, number here, and it also references the rest of the documents we've already seen. Apparently, the answer is obtained by taking the sum of every single number you guys see on the page across these 5 PDFs. So let me whip out the calculator and we're just going to do that real quick. For the first one, we got 0. We're just going to have 0. I'm going to go 8813. We got the 1. We go here and I think that is it for this page. Now we're going to go to this page. 8813. We got a 1. And down here we have 141. I think that's it for this page. We got 141 on the top left. We got 5 in the middle, and that's it for this page. Then we got 424 in the top left. We got 999, and that's it for this page. And now here we got 999. We got 4 literally right here. We got 141 and 424 like down there. We got 8132, and we got 2, and we got 4, and we get 29,044. Let's try that. Flag 29,044. And just like that, we have completed the library terminal. There are now 3 remaining stars. I only know the answer to 2, so if you guys know the last answer, please comment that down below because I'm very curious as to how you grab that last star. So let's proceed to do this. We're introduced to the 3 murals, and I was initially so lost. Like, what in the world do you do when you see this? It does turn out that you want to download these images and find out what is the word associated with hiding things, in the sense that you can see sometimes the most important details are hiding in plain sight. Look inside carefully. There's a word for this. Steganography is a practice of concealing a message within another message or physical object. And it turns out that they have done exactly this but concealed the message in these images. So online steganographer, we're gonna go to decoder and go to this one, go to decode, and as we proceed to upload the images and decode, we'll notice, wow, right away we have a flag, Pebblekin. And that's just the first image. Now, I'm sure it's not going to be that easy for the rest. So that gives us one of the first stars. And then the next thing we have is a schematic, which is part of the decoded message. And if we just go to the schematic, you'll go like, what in the world? A not, an and, an or, an exclusive or. What are we going to do with this? But if you guys actually inspect these images very closely, it does turn out that when you zoom into the second image, actually, I don't even need to zoom in. You guys can see just barely along the top, there's a bunch of random blue streaks. And we can see this more clearly if I just go to Photopea, open from computer. So let me just grab this image and we're just going to zoom in. You guys can see, look at this, all the blue, oops, just a row of blue streaks completely. It does turn out that you can use this information in a certain way to grab the second flag. And this is the last flag that I know how to do. But the goal is we're going to take this entire row with these random colors and we're going to pass it through this schematic and see what it ends up exporting. It turns out that if you process these pixels, yeah, what happens is once we've obtained the 8-bit values coming from these pixels, coming from the RGB channels of those pixels, we're going to convert them to their ASCII representatives, which happen to be letters, and that's going to ultimately spit out a message for us. Let's just go ahead and use this Python flag solver.py and then 2.png. We already put that in the same directory, so let's run that. Uh-oh, did I not import pill? I forgot to install pillow. Pip install pillow. Alright, let's try that one more time. Here we go. Congratulations on mastering the Vexillion interlock circuit. This is our second flag. To unveil the next truth, which I never ended up getting, step back and look within the friend who was there long ago when you answered the summons. If you're faced with transparency, consider disregarding alpha. It's probably got something to do with discarding the alpha channel, which accounts for opacity. I never ended up solving it. Let's go ahead and just claim our second star for the murals. And that is how you get 9 of the 10 stars. I have no clue how to get the 10th star. So you guys comment down below if you got the 10th star. I would love to see how to get it. But yeah, that's a quick guide on how did we, the actual Hack the North, Capture the Flag contestants, go about getting all 9 stars, if not the 10th star. Whoever got the last star of the 3 murals, genius, absolute genius you are. Anyhow, I hope you guys have enjoyed the video. I straight up just made this video due to my enthusiasm for this Capture the Flag. It was my first one. I thought the narrative was extremely cool. It felt like nostalgic, like an escape room. I watched the anime Steins Gate, so it was really giving me those vibes, especially when we were in the Lost, or not the Lost Archives, kind of the Lost Archives, but mostly the Hidden Repo. A mix of that, and the Talking Cartographer, I enjoyed the maps part quite a lot. Broken Calculator was just super stupid to me. And the 3 murals, I don't know, this was just a brain teaser to the max. But yeah, I didn't even fully get it, so that's probably biased to say it's a brain teaser because I'm not even done it. But yeah, this is the video. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. And yeah, I'm just another Hack the North contestant. Hopefully all is well. And that's it for this video. If you guys want to follow me and see what else I'm gonna post, maybe I'm gonna update my life with this channel or do something. I might just post random stuff on this channel, helpful or interesting like this one. So if you guys like this video, be sure to drop a like and definitely subscribe so you can see some more interesting videos like this one. And yeah, that's it from me. Peace out.